Moody's downgraded the U.S. sovereign credit rating on Friday due to concern about the nation's growing $36 trillion debt pile in a move that could complicate President Donald Trump's efforts to cut taxes and send ripples through global markets. Okay, Moody's first gave the United States its pristine AAA rating in 1919 and is the last of the three major credit agencies to downgrade it. In other words, back in 2023, they were planting the seed saying, okay, we're still saying it's AAA, but we're really watching it. We're not sure it's going to stay AAA. And then now they pulled the trigger and said, yep, what we told you back in 2023, our suspicions have been confirmed. We've got more information. We've seen things. And now we're going to downgrade it to AA1, which is one notch lower than AAA. But now we're stable. In other words, we think it should stay at AA1 for the foreseeable future. All right, it's big picture. I'm sure most listeners of the Amplify podcast know this, but just in case some of you are young people trying to learn how the world works, the function of these rating agencies is to provide guidance to investors, right? So if you're looking at buying bonds, it's important not just to see what is the yield to maturity, like what's the interest rate I'm going to earn on it, but also you want to know what's the likelihood that the issuer is going to have a partial or a complete default, right? So just because you own a piece of paper that's an IOU from some company or government saying, we're going to pay you whatever, $1,000 on this date in the future, they might not actually do that. And so your evaluation of a portfolio of bonds has to take into account the riskiness of the loan besides just the promised interest rate. And so the function of these ratings agencies is to give guidance because they have a bunch of analysts who look at these things that you can see how if you're buying corporate bonds and you don't know that much about them, that, it helps to have these analysts on the case and they give you their reports, blah, 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 and they have their ratings